And friends, welcome to this session. We are studying the subject power engineering and refrigeration. Let us study the methods of improving thermal efficiency in the gas turbine right now. So, the thermal efficiency is the ratio of the output upon input. Thermal efficiency is equal to output upon input. The output is nothing but the net work. In case of the gas turbine, the net work is nothing but the output. So net work means the work output of the turbine minus the work required by the compressor. So that is the net work output or the desired output, the power output. So the power is the desired output of the gas turbine, and the input is nothing but the heat energy which is supplied to the gas turbine, that is QS. So this formula gives Wt minus Wc and whole divided by QS, heat supplied, gives the thermal efficiency of the gas turbine. So in order to increase the thermal efficiency of the gas turbine, we can either increase the useful mechanical work given by the turbine Wt, or we can reduce the work consumed by the compressor, or we can reduce the heat supplied to the turbine. So accordingly, we are going to study the three methods of improving the thermal efficiency of the gas turbine. So first of all, the regeneration method. So the gas turbine with regeneration. With the help of regeneration, we can improve the thermal efficiency of the gas turbine. So in case of regeneration, what we are doing is that we are decreasing the heat supplied by regeneration, by properly utilizing the heat which is supplied to the gas turbine, by utilizing and reutilizing in an efficient manner. So by utilizing that heat which would otherwise be wasted, we can improve the thermal efficiency of the gas turbine, and that method is called as regeneration. So in regeneration, we can decrease the heat supplied and thereby increase the thermal efficiency. Another method is gas turbine used with intercooling. Now, whatever work is required for the compressor to compress the air or the working fluid, that can be reduced by intercooling. So if we go for intercooling, that means we are using two stages of compression. We are compressing the working substance twice in two stages. So, and in between these two stages, we are cooling the working substance, that is called as intercooling. So due to that, the work supplied by the compressor, the work supplied to the compressor will be decreased, and that will also increase the thermal efficiency. Now with the help of reheating, also we can improve the thermal efficiency. If we reheat the working substance, then we can obtain the power twice. We can use two turbines, we can use two combustion chambers, two heat exchangers, right? And we can reheat the air and we can obtain the power twice. We can expand also twice or more than once. So that will also increase the power output of the turbine, and that will increase the thermal efficiency of the turbine. So let us study these three methods one by one. First of all, regeneration. So let us study the open cycle gas turbine along with regeneration. So as usual, the air is entering, in case of open cycle gas turbine, the air from the atmosphere is entering in the compressor, it gets compressed in the compressor. at point 1, right? Now 1 2 is compression process. So the working substance or the air leaves the compressor, which is in compressed form, and before entering the combustion chamber it will get preheated in the heat exchanger. It will get preheated in the heat exchanger. So that is say process 2.5. Okay. So whatever the exhaust gas is coming out from the turbine, it is having some heat energy. So that heat energy can be utilized to preheat the air before it enters the combustion chamber and after being getting compressed. So 2.5 is the process of preheating. After preheating, the compressed and preheated air will enter inside the combustion chamber, and inside the combustion chamber heat is added because the combustion takes place as we have already studied, and therefore the temperature increases and heat is added to the working substance inside the combustion chamber. In case of open cycle gas turbine, there is direct heat addition. That means this working substance take part in the combustion, and the heat is increased, the energy is increased, heat energy is increased, right? So now the compressed and the heated working substance will leave the combustion chamber and enter inside the turbine. Inside the turbine it will expand. First of all, it will pass through the nozzle so that the pressure energy converted into kinetic energy, and this jet of the gases having high kinetic energy hits the turbine blades, and the kinetic energy is imparted to the turbine, so the turbine start rotating, and due to that we can obtain the mechanical work, useful mechanical work from the turbine that can be used for the generation of electricity by coupling the generator to the shaft of the turbine. And after expansion, this exhaust gas will return to the atmosphere, but before it returns to the atmosphere it will pass through the heat exchanger because it is having some heat energy along with it, and that heat energy is utilized for heating or preheating the compressed air before this compressed air goes to the combustion chamber. So this heat which is present in the exhaust gases, which would otherwise go waste, is utilized in this regenerator or the heat exchanger. So this is a special heat exchanger, and that is the regenerator. So in this regenerator the heat is utilized, and due to the proper utilization of the heat energy, you will find that the heat supplied will be reduced, and thus the efficiency of the gas turbine is improved. Now as usual, this gas turbine is driving the compressor because the shaft of the gas turbine is coupled to the compressor shaft, and some power which is developed by the turbine is used for driving the compressor. So that already we have studied. So in this way the thermal efficiency can be improved with the help of regeneration process. Now let us go to the next process. Before going to the next process, this regeneration process we can study on the TS diagram, and we can compare both the diagrams, the schematic diagram with the TS diagram. So we can see that process 1-2 is compression. So this is the compressor. 1-2 process is compression. So this is process 1-2, that is compression. Then process 2-5, that is the preheating process in the regenerator or the heat exchanger. So the air is preheated in the regenerator, that is process 2-5. Here you can see 2-5, here also you can see 2-5, right? Now the process 5-3, during the process 5-3 heat is added to the air in the combustion chamber. The air passes through the combustion chamber, and in the combustion chamber combustion of the fuel takes place, thereby a lot of heat is added, and therefore the temperature and the heat energy of the air is increased in the combustion chamber, right? That is the process 5-3. Now at point 3, this high temperature, high pressure air will enter the turbine. Before that, of course, it is entering through the nozzle, and in the nozzle the pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy, and the high speed jet will hit the turbine blades. The high speed jet of the gases, exhaust gases, will hit the turbine blade and imparts its kinetic energy to the turbine, and the turbine will rotate, and thus the mechanical power or mechanical energy is produced, and at the turbine shaft, and that is, the turbine shaft may be coupled to some device like the generator, which will utilize the power which is developed by the turbine, and the some part of the power developed by the turbine is utilized to drive the compressor, right? So this process 3-4, process 3-4 is the expansion process. 3-4, expansion in the turbine, isentropic expansion in the turbine, right? Now after that, the process 4-6. So at point 6, the exhaust gases will leave the system and enter the atmosphere, but during the process 4-6, it will the exhaust gases will give their heat energy to the uh, air which is entering the combustion chamber and leaving the compressor. So this heat energy of the exhaust gases during the process 4-6 is utilized for preheating the air before the air goes to the combustion chamber, right? Now this horizontal line indicate that this temperature at point 5 and temperature at point 4 is almost same. Theoretically, at least theoretically it is same. Practically, of course, there will be some difference, okay, because the exhaust gases which will leave the turbine, their temperature cannot be exactly equal to the temperature of the air which leaves the heat exchanger, right? So there is always some difference in the temperature. So but theoretically this T4 will be equal to T5, and therefore this horizontal line is drawn here. So this is how the efficiency of the turbine can be increased with the help of the process regeneration. Now this is one more diagram, TS diagram for regeneration. So already we have studied this diagram. This 1-2 is compression, 2-5 is preheating, then 5-3 is heat addition in the combustion chamber, 3-4 is expansion in the turbine, and 4-6 is cooling in the heat exchanger, and after 6.6 the gas will leave the unit, will leave the turbine, okay. So that is the TS diagram of the open cycle gas turbine with regeneration. Now the another method for improving the thermal efficiency is nothing but intercooling. So let us study the open cycle gas turbine along with intercooling. So here in intercooling we are using two compressors. LPC means low pressure compressor and HPC means high pressure compressor. So the compression is done in two stages. So first of all, in the low pressure compressor, the air is compressed, the air enters from the atmosphere inside the low pressure compressor, and it is compressed to an intermediate pressure, and after that this air is cooled in the intercooler, and we are trying that after cooling the temperature of the air should be equal to the temperature of the air which is entering the lower stage of the compressor, and that will be perfect intercooling. Now practically perfect intercooling may not be possible, but we can go as close as possible to the perfect intercooling, right? So intercooling takes place during the process 2-3. So here also you can see that this process 1-2 is nothing but compression process, compression in the lower pressure compressor, lower stage compression, right? Then 2-3 is intercooling at constant pressure. 2-3 is intercooling at constant pressure. During the process 1-2, Due to compression, the pressure increases from P1 to say Px. Px is the intermediate pressure, right? Temperature also increases from T1 to T2, right? But during the process 2-3, cooling takes place, that is the intercooling, right? And the temperature decreases at constant pressure from T2 to T3 in the intercooler. This is the intercooler. In the process 3-4, the higher stage compression takes place. High stage compression, upper stage compression takes place during the process 3-4, and the air is compressed to a higher pressure, say P2, higher pressure P2. Okay, Px is the intermediate pressure, P1 is the lower pressure, and P2 is the highest pressure. So in the second stage or the high pressure compressor, the air is further compressed up to the pressure P2, and after that the air will enter inside the combustion chamber. So the heat is added in the combustion chamber, and that is process 4-5. So process 4-5 is nothing but heat addition in the combustion chamber, right? Now at point 5, this air is having lot of energy, heat energy and the pressure energy. So that air is entering in the turbine, it expands in the turbine, and it will give us the mechanical work. Useful mechanical work will be given due to the expansion in the turbine. Expansion process is 5-6. So 5-6 is expansion in the turbine, and that will give the mechanical work. And here in this process, since the compression is done in 2 stages, the work of compression is reduced. In the last topic we have studied that if we go for the multi-staging in compression, then the work of compression is reduced. But for that we have to use appropriate intermediate pressure, and then we have to go as near as possible to the perfect intercooling. So in that case the work of compression will be reduced by increasing the number of stages of compression. So here, since we are compressing in 2 stages, the work of compression is reduced, and that will increase the thermal efficiency of the gas turbine. So in this way we can increase the thermal efficiency of the gas turbine by the process known as intercooling process. Now another process can be used for improving, another method can be used for improving the efficiency of the gas turbine, and that is nothing but reheating. So let us study the open cycle gas turbine with reheating. This is the TS diagram and this is the schematic diagram. So what is this reheating exactly? Let us see. So in reheating, what is done is that after the expansion of the air in the low pressure turbine, further the air is heated in one more combustion chamber, and again it is expanded. So we are using 2 turbines and we are using 2 combustion chambers, so that the power which is obtained by the turbine is increased, right? So let us study what is exactly is this reheating process. So as usual, first of all the air is entering in the compressor, it gets compressed in the compressor, and that is process 1-2. So here you can see process 1-2 is compression, and that is supposed to be isentropic compression theoretically, right? So process 1-2 is compression process. Now during the process 2-3, here you can see 2-3, here also you can see 2-3, the air enters in the combustion chamber, the air passes through the combustion chamber and the fuel is added, the combustion of the fuel takes place in the combustion chamber, and thus heat is added to the air in the combustion chamber during the process 2-3. So here you can see there is a rise in the temperature. So this is the first combustion chamber. In the first combustion chamber the heat is added and the temperature of the air increases during the process 2-3. Now this air is ready to expand in the turbine. So first of all it will expand in the high pressure turbine. So this is a high pressure turbine. So the expansion process 3-4 is the expansion in the high pressure turbine. So here also you can see process 3-4 is the expansion to some intermediate pressure. It will not expand to the lowest pressure, right? But it will expand to some intermediate pressure in the high pressure turbine, right? And we can obtain partial work, mechanical work, useful work from the high pressure turbine. Okay, now what is done is that further we are adding the heat to this air which is leaving the high pressure turbine. These exhaust gases which leave the high pressure turbine, they are further heated in the second combustion chamber. That is the process 4-5. So here you can see process 4-5. So this air is further heated in the combustion chamber during the process 4-5. Okay, so now this air is having again more energy. It is having its energy is increased, right? Pressure is energy is there, as well as heat energy is also there, right? So at point 5, this air which is having high temperature and high pressure, that is entering the low pressure turbine, okay, and it expands in the low pressure turbine. That is the process 5-6. So here you can see 5-6 process. It expands, further expansion takes place in the low pressure turbine, and due to expansion in the low pressure turbine we can obtain the further